Salam and welcome back to Somali Dispatch's YouTube channel and to our weekly program Dispatches. I'm Abdirizak Ahmed. This week on Dispatches, we will be discussing the latest in Somalia's election, including and finally President Farmajo's visit to Qatar and what it means for the elections. This week, we're joined by Abdirizak Ahmed. He has an MA in international relations. Right. And on a final point, as you know, Somalia's President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo flew to Qatar this week and have since met the leaders of that country. Knowing Qatar's involvement in Somalia and its elections, what could be expected?
You know, Qatar has had a good relationship with the current government in Somalia for the last 5 years. And we know it was a very close ally with the Somali president. And his visit at this time might honestly create some sort of suspicion. Number one, it's an election time, like I said earlier, where most of the MPs were elected. And it's likely possible that the presidential election would happen either soon after Ramadan, somewhere in May, or June, no later than in June. So, but as per the Somali government have said, they say the two leaders have talked about strengthening relations between the two countries. You know, Qatar has also been doing some development projects in Somalia. And I think the most notable thing is Qatar is planning now also to be part of building the new Mogadishu International Airport that's going to be, done outside Mogadishu. So with that relationship between the two countries, yes, but also there are some reports that are saying that it's likely possible that the Somali president was to meet with some delegates from the US government, especially the State Department, that were lately, not even lately, for the last few years, they have really been very prominent against Farmajo's, leadership. So they may have seen he has a high chance of coming back, and Qatar may be trying at least to kind of bring the two sides together so that Farmajo can also get a blessing of the West, particularly the US. So there's also some strong reports that are believed that Farmajo was to meet some U.S. government officials in Qatar and Doha.
Right. What about some, Somali political analysts saying, Qatar initially supported President Farmajo's presidency 5 years ago and financially contributed heavily to his campaign. And there we could see a repeat of that as well. And they deemed that to be an interference, a further interference of Qatar into Somali politics. What do you say to that?
I would literally say to that, number one, being an incumbent, he could still visit any country that he wants. We know Qatar has a strong relationship with the current government, but also at the same time, that shouldn't really stop him either visiting Qatar, or if it happens, Qatar could still support him without even going to Doha. So we know they have supported him before. We know that he still gets the support. But I do believe this is really no different from leaders that are either going to United Arab Emirates or Kenya or any other place. But the difference is Farmajo is a president of the Somali Republic, the Somali federal government, and he still has, the authority to visit any country that he feels would literally benefit for the Somali public. So, but again, it came at a time when elections are about to happen, and that could also create some sort of feelings as if Qatar is more involved into Somali politics, which they are. Everyone knows Qatar is involved, Emirates is involved, Kenya is involved, Ethiopia is involved. Somalia became a country where every small and big country is involved into their politics. And that's why if a Somali person to claim that he gets the blessing from another country became even an added advantage for many politicians. I know politicians who are now campaigning in Mogadishu, in Somalia, that are saying that they have the full support of the US. There are some that are saying they have the full support of the Arab countries. And it's very unfortunate. They should have the support of their public, of their people, not the support of a foreign countries. So it's very unfortunate. But yes, absolutely. The time is not really the best time to visit a country where you have had a strong relationship for the last 5 years.
Optically, yeah. I agree, and that's a good point to end on our discussions for the dispatches of this week. Abdirizak Ahmed, I can't thank you enough for your expertise and for your time today, and thanks for coming on and agreeing to do this for us. And I look forward in having further discussions about Somali-related issues in the near future. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.